All right, we'd like to welcome everyone to the 2011 Discover Orange Bowl. We'd like to thank our title sponsor, Discover, of course. We always like to acknowledge and recognize the Orange Bowl committee members who are with us. In the room right now is Tim Bailey. I know I saw Sarah Harold and Mark Doucette rolling around, so we thank all the Orange Bowl committee members who are with us today. A couple quick reminders. There is an Orange Bowl committee event today. The City of Miami will hold a ribbon cutting ceremony at 2 p.m. at Orange Bowl Field at Moore Park, site of the 1933 and 1934 Palm Festivals, which was the forerunner to the modern-day Orange Bowl. The media is encouraged to attend. The City of Miami Mayor will be there. Orange Bowl Chair Tony Argyes will be there. Vice Chair Ford Gibson, CEO Eric Palms, as well as ACC Commissioner John Swafford and Pac-10 Commissioner Larry Scott. So we hope you all will make your way out there. Directions are in the media credential office. Tonight is the Orange Bowl Media Party. We hope you'll bring all your significant others and children and anybody else you want to bring along with you. Tomorrow is game day. The media shuttle will be going from here, right outside these doors here. The first shuttle will leave at 3 o'clock. We'll leave every 45 minutes until 5:15. The last shuttle is at 5:15. And then post-game shuttles will start as soon as the game is over until the very last person has left the press box. So they will run very, very late. So with that, I will open up the press conference. We do have a microphone, at least one of them roaming around the room, two of them with one person, which may make it difficult. But if you could just get Rebecca's attention, she'll bring you the microphone to ask your questions. So with that, we will begin the press conference with Stanford head coach Jim Harbaugh. And Coach, if you can open up, with this being the day before the game, what preparations, if any, is left for your team?
Well, just getting our minds right for the game, and still more mental preparations and physical preparations, because we want our guys to get the proper rest, eat the right things, hydrate. I think our team will be strong and fresh for the ball game. The plan's been good. They've executed it well, and just rested now. There's power in that. There's power in being fully rested and fresh and strong and ready to go.
Okay, we'll open it up now to the media. Again, Rebecca has the microphones. If you can start with Craig in the back right.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
Good morning.
Could you comment on this element of your team? Your quarterback gets a lot of attention. Do you think that because of that, people overlook the fact that your team is such a strong running team as well?
That's interesting. I mean, he does get a lot of attention. He's a very good player, no question about it. There's other good players on our offense. I think that's what you're pointing out, and and thanks for doing that. Really experienced offensive line that plays very well together. We've got really good athletes at the skill positions, the receivers, and the running backs. We've got a great fullback. So, and they'd all tell you that they play for each other. They play. That's what motivates them the most: winning and playing for each other, and even more so than playing, winning for the guy next to them. That's what they get the most motivation from.
Next question.
Morning, Jim.
Hey, Mark.
What have you enjoyed most about your interaction with Andrew in terms of talking about the quarterback position? What do you get the kick most out of when you talk with him about that, and any specific conversation maybe you remember?
The thing I get the most out of is that whatever you tell him, he absorbs it so quickly, can take it from the chalkboard right out to the field and do it exactly the way you explained it. And very few times he'll make a mistake, and when he does, he very rarely makes it again. He's just so sharp mentally, so quick-minded, and then just the easy personality to be around. He's like a dolphin. He's just always, he's really smart, and he's always having fun, and he's laughing and joking, and it's just a great mix of focus and being loose at the same time that you can't help but love being around that kind of demeanor.
And we'll go over here.
Technically, he's so technically sound. so good with his mechanics, so great with his eye discipline, and he's going to have to be in this football game. His eye discipline, his mechanics are really going to have to be on. There's so many variances in the coverages that Virginia Tech uses, and different blitz patterns, and corner cats, and strong safety and Sam's coming off the edge. So a lot going on that he's going to have to really be good with his eyes in this football game. But that's where he's really good. That's one of his real strengths.
I'll go to your right in the second row.
Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Hey, Tom.
How are you? You're in a great bowl game against a real quality team. I'm just wondering how you would think it would be different if there were a playoff game, a playoff system, and you might be facing a team like Virginia Tech in the first round or whatever. How would you like to see a system like that? How do you think it might go?
Well, you asked me, so I'm going to have to tell you the truth. I would love to see a playoff system. Yeah. An 8-team playoff system. I think every other sport in the NCAA has it. There's no NCAA sport that doesn't have a playoff system, so why not football? So you asked me, would we be excited about that? Yes, but we're very excited about this bowl game, and what's gotten us to here this season, and this group going in to play this particular team that's red hot and won 11 straight games. That challenge of being in one of the most traditional bowl games in the country, and really, in my opinion, this has been a great week for preparation as far as a football team getting ready for a game. So couldn't be more excited about this particular game Monday night. The fact that it's going to be the only game in the world being played on January 3rd is really something that has our guys excited and motivated for the ball game. So it's just we're ready to go, so we're very excited about the football game Monday.
And one more follow-up question, Jim. There have been a lot of sort of mediocre bowl games this year, and blowouts and what have you. I'm just wondering, what kind of a game do you think this is going to be? Do you think it's going to be high scoring? Any idea of what we can look forward to seeing in this particular game?
Well, they got a great football team. I mean, they could blow us out, and we have a pretty darn good football team too. We could win by that kind of margin. More likely, it's going to be one heck of a close game. Both teams are very, very similar. Try-hard teams, physical teams, tough teams, and that's the way I see it. Really smart, disciplined teams, mirror images in some ways. So I think it's going to be one heck of a contest, Tom.
Now we'll go to the inside aisle here to your left.
Coach, two questions. First of all, what has been the biggest element in your program's 4-year turnaround from where you were after the 06 season? And number two, what were your impressions of the Virginia Tech program as a whole before you started reviewing tape of them for this particular game?
Well, it's just been a process for our football team over the 4 years. Our guys have had great respect for that process, and in terms of the Virginia Tech team, I mean, the perception was that it was just a real solid program. And when we watched the tape, the things we saw were a physically tough, well-coached, disciplined football team that out-toughs their opponents, plays more physical than their opponents, and that's why they win the ACC championship year in and year out. And that's going to be key in this football game, and our pad level is going to have to be low. If we play high, we're going to get our butts kicked in this game. It's just going to be that simple. If we play low, we got a chance. So, that's a reflection on Coach Beamer, his staff, all things that we kind of knew going in that was probably what the case was, and we've seen it on tape.
We're going to go all the way on the right on the third row.
Coach, I have two quick questions, if you don't mind. One is I just would like you to talk about your coaching philosophy, and particularly the smack you in the mouth part of it that seems like a lot of players say you really installed once you came to Stanford. Secondly, it's a little odd, but I'm from Charlotte, And I wonder if you could talk about your final year in your playing career when you were a backup for the 1-15 Panther team.
Well, I didn't get any games that year in 2001. I was signed late, probably with 8 games to go. So I was there 8 weeks. Loved it. Loved the coaches that were there and the organization. Especially loved throwing to Steve Smith. We were both on the scout team at that time. So it didn't take me long to realize that he was really good, and I just kept throwing the ball to him, and we were making plays and having fun. So, yeah. Was there another part of that question?
Yeah.
Well, I don't block and tackle anybody, so I'm not real physical out there, to be quite honest with you. Just put some things in place where we have a great staff and players that like I said before, really respect the process and go about working to be able to put themselves in a position to win. So a lot of little things, probably not as complicated as you think. Just give it your all the time, and whether you're in the classroom, you're on that side of campus. I mean, that's got to be the most important thing that you're focused on. And when you come over to our the athletic side of the street, then we put all our focus into that, and physically, mentally, and try to be the best that we can.
We're standing up in the back of the room.
Jim, you mentioned your players being motivated for tomorrow night, the only game in the world, as you put it. Are young people today motivated by history, specifically the chance to be Stanford's first top 5 team since 1940? Do they even know that? Do they even care about it?
They sure do. We keep telling them things like that, because that's important for them to know as they make decisions, even in the course of this week. That keeping that in mind, what's the most important thing, what's important now, and that's getting ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally ready to play this football game. And it'd be a chance to be a part of college football history. They know that. They know that the chairs that they're sitting in when they play in a game like the Orange Bowl, to be an Orange Bowl champion, that puts you in a position to make college football history. So our players are aware of that. They understand that, it was great going from 1-11 to 11-1 like they did this year, but 12-1 sounds a lot better. And some of our players have even brought that up. So, but I'll hammer that home again to them. Being top 5 and since 1940, I wasn't aware of that. So, that's given me something good to talk to them about later today.
We're going to go on the back on the left inside aisle.
Jim, it's been a long time since both of these teams have played, you guys especially, November 27th. How concerned are you about such a long layoff in between games?
That that's just one of the facts of business that we knew going in. So we had a plan that we think was pretty good, and I still think it is now. Now going through this for almost 4 weeks of preparation, I think our players did a great job of executing it. So feel good about where we are. Then again, a lot of fighters had a plan before they fought Mike Tyson. They had a plan going in too. So, the big part would be the last part anyway is getting our minds right for this game and going out there and playing fast, playing hard as we can and as long as we can, and letting the chips fall where they may. So we're excited about it, though.
On your right in the middle of the section.
Jim, does it bother you that your name is being brought up so much for other coaching jobs, even though you've really given no indication that you want to leave Stanford? I mean, how does that affect you? How do you think it's affected the team?
Well, we've really always treated that as we just talk about, and I just talk about the job that I have and none others, and that's the way I've always handled it in the past, and it's worked well. The way I'll handle it now and in the future, just focus and concentrate on the task at hand.
On the left over here in the gray and yellow.
Coach, both teams are led by marquee quarterbacks. Is it an oversimplification to say that they hold the key to the game in their hands?
Maybe oversimplifying it, but a lot of the time pretty accurate. Both quarterbacks are extremely talented, and they've got really good playmakers around them, running backs, wide receivers, good offensive lines. So that's defense will have a lot of say in that as well. So it's always a team game. It's always a team effort. You got to do all the things. And it's got to be all 11 guys, especially on offense. One guy that doesn't do their job, misses their block, misses their assignment, and then, can make any quarterback look bad. And the quarterback's got to be sharp as well. So they all got to, it's 11, it's a team game, and, there'll be a lot of plays that'll determine this, who wins this football game.
All right, go back over here to the right in the middle of the section.
When you took the Stanford job, what did you see as the biggest roadblock to having this kind of success? And whatever it was, kind of talk specifically about how you set about, knocking down that roadblock.
Well, I didn't really